The story you are about to hear comes from a land far, far beyond your maps. The land of magical Rome universe, where magic is real, the gods are watching, and ambition is a dangerous game. My name is Gellius Varro. Those who know me as a friend, men and women just like you, they call me the keeper of stories. Stories about magic, adventure, danger, and the shadows that haunt magical Rome universe. Draw closer now. Let us begin. Today's story is going to be slightly different because today I will answer a question that one of you have asked. The question reads, Gellius, if you are from another universe, then how do your stories reach me? I don't know the name of the man or woman who has asked this question. But if that's you, then here's the short answer: Magical Pawns. To understand what Magical Pawns is, let me tell you a story. Mercury is the god of many duties. For tradesmen and tavern keepers like me, he is the god of trade. For others, he is the god of trickery and thievery. You know whom I'm talking about, those latrons, mongrels. Their kind worship him too. But very few know Mercury as the god of stories. Since I am the keeper of stories, Mercury is especially important to me. Mercury loved stories and was eager to hear more of them, all of them. But a day came when Mercury had heard all the stories in magical Rome universe, and he grew restless. So he came up with a plan to hear stories from other universes. Using his powers, Mercury built bridges between all universes. These bridges are called pawns. They are invisible pawns, magical pawns, that allowed only one thing to pass through: stories. And so, stories started pouring in from other universes into my universe through the magical pawns. They were unwritten stories sent by word of mouth from infinite storytellers, my brothers and sisters, all of them from other universes. And that's how Mercury became happy once again. Let's fast forward to the year 2007 of your universe. 2007 corresponds to the year of Consul Petronius Carus in my universe. We count our years differently than you, but I digress. In your 2007, I made contact with a storyteller in your universe called A. David Singh and asked him to tell me a story. So he told me a story about Y2K. Nothing like that ever happens here, believe me. After finishing his Y2K story, David asked me to tell a story about magical Rome universe. I didn't see any harm in doing that. Mercury has not forbidden me from telling my stories. Happy to oblige. So I told him a story about a druid who met a tragic end on the day he performed the greatest magical feat of his life. An impossible feat of magic, some even say. He transferred life from a living boy to a dead boy. This happened 37 years ago. After that, the druid's broken body was found at the foot of the Tarpeian rock. I wager it was the doing of those latrons, mongrels, ruffians. David became excited and wanted to know more because he felt the urge to spread this new story to all of you. That's how all storytellers are. We simply have to pass on stories to others. I asked him how he would do that. He laughed and said, through the internet. I had not heard of this internet, just like I had not heard about Y2K. So he explained the internet to me. And that was another story I sent to Mercury. I am delighted I met David because, as storytellers, the two of us share many values. First and foremost, we believe that stories are living, breathing entities, just like plants and animals, and yes, like you and me. Secondly, great stories change lives. This is so true. Such a story that comes to mind is from ancient Rome of your universe. The story is about a young Julius Caesar. He was not a great general and conqueror yet. As a minor official in the vast Republican machinery, Julius took a day off from work and sailed to a small island near the coast of Spain to see the statue of Alexander. Young Julius had heard of his incredible conquests when Alexander was a young man, the same age as Julius was then. When he saw Alexander's statue, Julius felt that the statue's eyes were mocking him because he was not striving toward his destiny. You can imagine how frustrated, intimidated he felt on being looked down, even by a statue. Julius slumped at the foot of the statue and wept. After a good cry, he felt more in control. Then those very stories about Alexander came back and fueled Julius's ambition, ultimately leading him to become the Julius Caesar, one of the most famous ancients of your universe. If you haven't read the story about young Julius, please find the link in your description box and show notes. Before I go, there is one more value I share with David. It is this: stories are meant to be told to others, not kept hidden in scrolls and tablets, buried deep inside drawers and cabinets. Stories have to spread from one hand to many eyes, and from one mouth to many ears. Because if stories are not sent outward and forward, they lie forgotten and then they die. As storytellers, we will not let that happen. I hope this answers your question about how my stories reach your ears through the magical ponds. If you have more questions for me, please write them in the comments below or send us an email. If you get emails from David about new podcast stories, just reply to that email and he will send your questions over to me. The tale is told and you have heard the truth. All my stories are carried in your universe by the storyteller A. David Singh. If you wish to hear more, 7 epic tales are waiting for you at the gates of magicalrome.com/epic. I am Gellius Varro and I will return with another story very soon.